You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. What's up, Keymakers? Okay, today we're going to talk about when you don't have an audience, giving your potential clients no reason to say no. So that's what we're going to cover in today's episode. It's Bradley G. Smith with another Keymaker Nation podcast. So let's say you're moving from employee to entrepreneur, which is what this podcast is about. And you already understand the importance of funnels in your business. And I'm not making the case for funnels. I don't have to make the case for funnels. And if I was going to say, let me make the case for funnels in about 5 seconds, I would say, take the burden of the customer journey off of your customer and send your customer into a funnel rather than a brochure website. Okay, enough said about that. Now, let's say you already understand the importance of the funnel and you don't have an audience yet. So how do you make sure you grow your audience either with a lead magnet or a low ticket product, a low ticket item that would be like at the bottom of your value ladder product? How do you make sure that when the customer is coming through your funnel, that there is literally no reason for them to say no? You give them no options to say no. So the way to do that is 1, free, and 2, overload the value. So you have to overload the value of what you're going to give the customer, and I'll give you an example. So I just talked about a couple things. I just talked about getting a funnel off the ground and getting it approved by AdWords. I just talked about finishing the Marketing Secrets podcast, and I moved on to the Funnel Hackers podcast, which is one of Russell's guys. I think his name is Dave Woodward, who is doing the Funnel Hackers podcast. And I went all the way back to when he started. I think that was like 2 years ago. And he's got tons of material in terms of interviews for people who are doing funnels correctly. So we're moving from listening to all of Russell Brunson's advice. And Russell Brunson has a ton of advice that should help get you as a solopreneur / employee who's moving to entrepreneur off the ground and up and running with funnels. But let's say you've got a funnel, you've built it, now you're in a similar place that I am. I built a funnel, I built a lot of value into the funnel, and I got it advertised on AdWords. So how do I make sure that when people view the offer that they're going to accept it and or come back and accept it? So I heard some good advice on this on this other podcast I'm listening to now on Funnel Hacker Radio. And one of his guests on there was talking about literally you have to give so much value that early on you expect nothing in return. And one or two ideas that I heard that were really good for that were one guy, any funnel that he builds, if it's not making money within 30 days after creating the funnel, he scraps it and starts a new funnel. So, and if that means that some customers had purchased in the process and it's not worth it for him to maintain the support for that, he'll refund the money and start a new funnel. So I thought that was really good. And then I thought, how do you overload? One person said, you literally have to do so much research on your competitors that you 100% know that your offer is going to beat your competitors. So you can't, with your funnel, at a minimum, offer the exact same thing that your customer, that your that your potential competitors are offering, you have to offer a better offer, or they just won't, or your potential clients just won't accept it. Because why would they buy from you if they can get the same thing from somebody else who maybe they already know? So there's a couple things that come to mind here. One, you have to do the research and figure out the exact things that your competitors are offering on their funnels as it relates to what your business is and what your particular funnel is. So figure out exactly what they're offering and then offer at least that much, but you have to offer more. So for me, what that equates to is a couple of things that I was offering is a course walkthrough, and I was also offering 4 shared funnels. The funnel software that I use lets you do shared funnels, and so that means I can basically build a funnel or get a funnel from someone else and share it with somebody else. So I was offering shared funnels, my course, and I'm trying to think, I was also offering a private coaching call, and I think there was one other thing I was offering, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So when I was looking at the other offers, I actually did some of this research without even, hearing this podcast, this other podcast that I listened to today. And as I was trying to go through the process of getting it approved with Google AdWords, I ended up removing the coaching call because I wasn't sure if they were trying to reject my ad based on the coaching call. And so what ended up happening is my offer ended up at best being mediocre. So I have to go back and rework the funnel a little bit in terms of the offer. And so specifically, I'm going to add to this. They're going to get a private coaching call. And me being a funnel agency, this is right up my alley. I'm not offering anything like out of the ordinary for me. So they're also going to get a walkthrough on the value ladder. So I'll build out the value ladder for them, and then I'll also build out the email sequence, and then I will also make sure if their funnel's not profitable within 30 days, we'll scrap it and start a new one. And I will work with them until the funnel is profitable. So, that's like early on, the reason why you do this. You may not continue this offer later, but early on, the reason why you do this is because you're really trying to build up good testimonials and an audience, right? So if you could build up testimonials from these people who are like, this person knows exactly what they're talking about as it relates to this specific offer and the product I purchased from them, and then you get, ideally, you get a review or a testimonial from them, and you're able to take that and drop that on an offer page where you're giving something at least similar, probably the same offer, but maybe slightly tweaked, so you're not killing yourself to get the client the result that you desire. But up front, you sort of need these things, right? You need to be able to you need to be able to give the customer so much value that they're like, okay, I'm willing to take a risk with this person who I don't even know yet. And so, and then there's one other thing, right? So I think I threw up the funnel. I ended up getting like 14 clicks or something like that in a matter of a couple days because I was spending maximum $5 a day. And what it would turn out to is that I would get somewhere between 1 and 5 or 6 clicks a day for $5. And so that's not a whole lot, right? I think I ended up spending $40 before I paused it. So, and I didn't have remarketing set up yet. So I'm going to go back, rework it so that I have remarketing set up, and my remarketing will probably take them to a page, maybe to the same page as one option, but also maybe to a video page where I just talk them through, and reassure them what they would be getting with me, and maybe give a little bit of an extra incentive or bump on that page. So if you don't have an audience, make sure you have remarketing set up. And if you're sending them straight to an offer where you want them to buy, for me, I'm trying to send them to a continuity offer where I would make money monthly based on them purchasing funnel software. And so that would be my recommendation to you, would be to overload the value until you can get success for your customers, and then get the testimonials and use that to propel you forward. So that was it. That was my thoughts for today, and I tried to explain how I was doing that and trying to apply it with what I'm currently working on. But for you, if you're still trying to get an audience, overload the value until you get your client success, and then take the testimonials that you get and use that to propel you in your either the same offer or one that's close to it, so that you can continue to get clients. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.